It's me, the Matrix Refugee, on the evening of December the 8th, 2015, and I know, it's been a long time since I did a vlog post. It's a long time since I did a blog post, so life just kind of ate me. I mean, it's getting to be, it's been November, Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, that is, and now we're on to December and the December holidays. So it's been crazy busy at work, and I've been, between working and writing and doing stuff around the house, it's, the various permutations of vlogging have kind of fallen by the wayside to my eternal annoyance. I really need to get back to that, and because I know you folks get a little worried, some of you, when you don't hear from me for a long time, and it's not good for me either, because I find the days start running together when it gets, when I don't do some kind of a blogging post of some kind, so I'm trying to make up for that. I don't think I'm even going to do a catch-up entry because it's just been way too long. It's been over a month. I think the last time I did a blog entry was around Halloween, maybe somewhat after, maybe somewhat before Thanksgiving. It's been a while, and it's not, I'm not really kicking myself, but it's because sometimes, some days it's just been so crazy and busy at work that I get home and it's like doing a blog post just feels like one more thing that needs to be done, and sometimes I just feel like, hey, I don't want to do more things, no, please. But then I'm thinking, oh, people are gonna get worried, what happened? Do we do we anger Renee? Is she not talking? So, no, it's not that, although recent events, there's been a lot of bad stuff in the news lately, and that kind of has made me go into cave hiding mode, because, there's just so much going on, and just so much, so much hatred on both sides of the aisle, and so much rhetoric being yelled, and I just feel like it gets to a point where you almost don't want to, well, for me, I almost don't want to talk to some people, even the people that I really trust, unless I can talk to them about completely neutral subjects, although sometimes it seems like even the neutral subjects get heated, because sometimes people will say idiotic things like, my customers at work whining about it raining, and you just feel like, we have a rain deficit of 9 inches here in the Miskatonic Valley. We're near drought conditions. This is not healthy for us or the environment. And then when we finally get some beneficial rain, people cry about it, and you just honestly get to a point where you just want to smack them, because it's like, do you want us to dry up and blow away? You can move to Arizona. It never rains there, or at least not much. Although I'm told when it rains in the desert, it rains. And, there can be flash floods, which are not good and not fun either, So it's kind of not been a good time for me emotionally. Plus, I got a reject letter for one of my stories that I'd sent out, and it kind of hit me hard. So that, I won't say it killed the writing for a little while there, but when I get discouraged, I get discouraged. Which is one of the reasons my mother used to think I was manic depressive, and that's before I got the Asperger's syndrome / autism diagnosis, which, okay, that's, I'd never thought of myself as being that way, although I always, from the time I was a kid, I'm told, and I vaguely remember this incident, when I was 5 years old, I said to my mother, sometimes I feel like I'm mentally ill. And my mother, good woman that she was, reassured me she, I probably wasn't, but, I wasn't convinced, but I know she was, being caring and concerned and considerate, and just, wanting to help her, troubled child feel less troubled, so, I just kind of, hold that in my heart. So, I don't know where I'm going with this train of thought. It's been so long since I've vlogged, I forgot how to vlog. How do I even vlog? Yeah. Rambling thoughts. I started talking about current events and whatnot, and just, I don't even want to waste I wouldn't say wasted, use the oxygen to talk about it, because so much is being said about it, and there's so many pixels being burned over it, so much bandwidth being used over it. It's just, you know, it's like, I don't know what to say, because it's either been said, or, you know, I have nothing to say, because it's just so not easy. Although I've had the opportunity to say some interesting things. There was a young guy on one of the writing Facebook pages that I hang around on, who was, you know, writing horror, and, you know, in light of recent events, was like, you know, I think I can't write horror. Real life is too scary. And the rest of us were like, well, if you feel like you need to take a break, go ahead and do so. There's, you know, nobody's holding your feet to the fire to make you write horror. But, you know, if you feel like that's where you're called to write, you know, go forth and write scary things, you know. But, you know, if you need a break, take a break. Although I was reassuring, telling him, a lot of us go to horror to help us process the scary stuff in real life. I can't vouch for everybody, but that's how horror has worked for me, is that it's kind of, I think it was Stephen King who said, we read horror and we watch horror as a rehearsal for our own deaths. Which, you know, the first time I heard that, I was like, what? But the more I thought about it, I was like, huh, that's true, because it helps us to face our fears and the things that bug the bejeebers out of us, and, you know. So, and speaking of scary things in drama, if you're noticing the lighting is a little strange, it's because the wall lamp in our study, which is over on that wall, it's got a bad switch, and we're going to have an electrician come in and replace it. So in the meantime, we have a lamp that is off to your left, my right, and it's casting some eerie shadows in here. So it's kind of mood lighting in here, and I don't mind it. It's like, spooky. So anyway, yeah, I'm all over the map tonight. Like I said, my thoughts are not the most organized. So hopefully the young fellow that I helped reassure, he sounded like, you know, he was kind of getting out of the worst of it, but, you know, might be taking, you know, definitely taking a break from it, and I wish him the best of luck. And if those of you who do so could keep that guy in your thoughts and prayers and whatnot, because this guy, I've read some of this guy's stuff, and he seems like a really talented kid, and I hate to see a talent get lost because, you know, somebody, you know, circumstances and whatnot scared him out of it. You know, I hate to see voices go quiet because somebody was just too, you know, something, or, you know, life itself, or for that matter, was just too harsh for them. So, anyway, I know there's a lot of things that need to be thought about and prayed about, but I'm putting that out there because somebody has to, and I'm going to be that somebody, you know. So, also, I've been busy with Christmas, you know, kind things, doing kind things. Get verb sentences. A couple giving trees here and there and everywhere. There was one at our bank, of all places. One at St. Joseph's, one at St. Michael's. So I've been going about buying presents for, you know, some poor folks that might need a little help having a Merry Christmas this year. And that for me is always a good feeling, because, you know, especially if they tell you a little bit on the tag with the, you know, with the items that they need, they tell you a little bit about the person this is going to. It kind of gives you an idea of who you're helping, and it kind of it can kind of help you form a mental image. You know, here's this, you know, single mom who wants, you know, cuddly pajamas and a nice bathrobe, and maybe she's got, you know, ratty stuff, and she just wants something comfortable, and, you know, her kids, you know, went to St. Vincent de Paul or Salvation Army or whomever, and say, you know, can you get us some nice pajamas and a nice robe for our mom? And just think, you know, Christmas morning, this lady's got to unwrap this big box and be, oh, why? You know, some kind guardian angels at the center, you know, nice fleecy pajamas and a nice bathrobe, because, you know, I get this mental image, you know, she's doing the best she can for her family, you know, she's a hardworking lady, and she just, you know, she just needs somebody to she just needs somebody to be, you know, the Santa Claus or the Christmas angel or whatnot to her, you know, because, you know, somebody's got to help the helpers, you know. So that's a good feeling. And, you know, one was a young man who likes basketball and books. So I got him a new basketball and a nice little stack of books. I think it was the Fifth Wave series that I read a sampler of the first few chapters of it, and it was very intriguing. It was like, interesting take on an alien invasion. So I thought, ooh, this guy might like this. This young guy might like it. So, you know, go forth and read, young man. So, been busy with that, dropping off, you know, things here, there, and everywhere. I'm already one of Santa's helpers to begin with, and this is kind of just going the extra mile, which I don't mind doing because, you know, someone got to walk that mile and help someone out, you know, and I don't mind doing it because it gives you a good feeling. You know, you just, you know, there may be dark things going on, but if, you know, if you can do just one small thing, even if it's, you know, buying a cup of coffee for, you know, a tired retail worker or something, you know, just giving them a gift card for that or something, because that, you know, it's like someone's got to help the helpers. So anyway, yeah, just even if it's just one small thing to help, you know, push back the darkness a little bit, that's something. I suppose that probably sounds strange, you know, me talking about pushing back the darkness and I write horror. You know, I write horror as a way to kind of shed a little light on the darkness, to kind of show that, you know, you can find a way through it, even if the way is really hard, and even if, you know, even if your way ends up in half light, you know, at least half light is better than no light. Speaking of which, my recent, the recent anthology that I submitted to a couple months back, it's finally in print. So if you go on Amazon.com and search Lovecraft ME, as in the abbreviation for the postal abbreviation for the state of Maine, I guess that would make it Lovecraft in Maine. Type that in, you'll find it. It's, you know, good to go and print, and, you know, it's in time for Christmas or Yuletide or whichever you celebrate this time of year. And I'll put a link in the diddly-do in the bottom so you can find it more easily. That features, I think it's like 14 stories, including yours truly's "We'll Leave the Lights On," which I'm quite proud of. I might do more with I might do more with the main character. I might get him. I won't say he gets into a jam, but I might find an interesting place for him to go from that jam. Not to let out too much, but it's got an interesting ending. I tend to refer to it as a cross between the it could work as a Twilight Zone episode with quite a bit of Lovecraft thrown in. So, looking forward to seeing what people think of that, and hope those of you that buy it enjoy it. So, and so a busy day today. Today's the Catholic Feast of the Immaculate Conception, so I went to church earlier in the day, dropped off some presents at St. Joseph's for a giving tree there. Some lucky little girl is getting little dollies of Elsa and Anna from Frozen. Like, ooh, there's somebody there, somebody else who likes Frozen. I can get them, you know, get her some dollies, and, you know, she got little buddies to talk to and play with, and, you know, just have adventures with. So, I will admit that's one of my favorite recent Disney movies. Not that I watch a lot of them, or as many of them as I'd like to, but that one looked interesting, and that's one that I really like, because it's like, hey, you know, I love the twist in this. It's like, you know, the true love is family love, which needs a little more love, because, okay, you know, romantic love is all well and good, but there's other kinds of love, and those could use some love. Love needs love. I'm sure it does. Anyway, so, and having a quiet evening. I should get back to doing some writing. Speaking of the writing, my folks are at after Mass at Mary Immaculate, so I've got some quiet time to myself, so do some writing and blare my music. Nobody to say, what's with that racket up there? Not that I get that noisy, but, you know. Once in a while, you just have to be noisy. Even when you're writing, because you sometimes have to... You have to do something to drown out the inner critic, because you'll be typing away and all of a sudden, that little voice in your head will start saying, this is crud. You're trying to get this published? Ew. And you just want to be quiet in there, Not that it's hearing voices, obviously. It's just your own inner doubts and concerns and self-criticism just getting a little too active in there. But, keep losing my train of thought, so maybe I should leave it there and get back to my writing. And it was about time I checked in with you guys, and I'm glad to have done so, and hope you folks are having a good day, and I'll catch you soon, hopefully.